Maybe it's a shower
Yep.
yeah, we could beat that up.
Hey everybody!
There's probably a little water.
Hey guys, really quickly, we're going to do a couple minutes early here for the announcement. Good morning. Come on in if you would. I had them pause getting packets because that shouldn't have started happening till 9. If you have one in your hand, you didn't do anything wrong. Just you have your packet about 5 minutes too early. So no worries. We don't even have the transition folks over for you to put your things on yet. So we're going to bring David over. David's going to make an announcement, and we'll have him come on over if you would. Come on over if you would, guys. I'll be back. Those guys are going to go down about 25 and 50. And then just pick whichever one you want. It doesn't really matter, and then we'll start. So, after you. Anybody wants to go?
Swims a little bit.
Well, how was the swim? Yeah, it's pretty nice. All right.
So it
All right. That's exciting. Okay, I promise you, I see a lot of this in 5 minutes. There'll be a lot more smiles. So we're going to go in the water. Again, I'm Coach Tom. We do this about 20 times a year. This year, about 2,000 athletes. In this body of water, you don't have to worry about it tomorrow with all the athletes coming in. In this body of water, make sure you do, because of stingrays, make sure you shuffle when you get in. They're probably not anywhere near us right now with all the activity, but let's get in. Let's get in the water. Oh, by the way, it's about 65 degrees except for one little area there was a little warmer. See, some people got that, thank God. All right, we're gonna have you, if you see where the arch is, we're gonna have you start parallel to the arch. So I just want you to get in a straight line parallel to the arch. And we're going to go through the 5 focals today. 5 focals of swimming. So once you get into a line parallel to that arch, you're going to be strung from that side all the way down that side. Grab a little space so you don't run into your fellow swimmers. And if you're chilling in here, make sure you're doing like aqua jogging. Just stay warm. I mean, I'll be in here double the time with you guys. So the way I stay warm is I do aqua jogging. Now when you're in a race, you won't even notice it's cold because you'll be putting out effort. So you're gonna want to stretch along this line. So you guys look a little more clustered here. Okay, the first focal we're gonna talk about, you guys are making your space. The first focal we're gonna talk about is getting flat in the water. Getting flat in the water means you're race this morning. Oh, look, he's into it. That's at least 20 cents.
Is he alive? 30 minutes later.
Somebody tap his foot.
There you go.
All right, nice job. Good job. So here we go. So that's focal number one. Focal number two we're going to talk about is we're going to get to that. But what I'd like to do again, I'd like to see you stretch out a little bit more. I just want to see you swim 25 yards. I just want to see you swim. Let me see you swim. Let's get one done.
You can run.
You're my lucky winner. Great job. Let's go down.
All right.
So I picked, he actually made it across the pool first, so we'll want to do it. So ma'am, what is your name? Yeah. Elisa. Okay. So what we're going to do, what's your name? Right
Dane.
here. Okay. Dane. Dane?
Yes.
Dane. So Dane, we're going to swim to Elisa. Here's how we talk about stroke. We talk about this is 1 stroke, 2 stroke, 3 stroke, 4 stroke. So every time you come and get water, get a catch, that's a stroke. So if somebody count Dane's strokes, he's a good swimmer, that's why I picked him. Who can count him as he swims to Elisa? The number of times. Thank you. Elisa, would you mind just counting mine?
Whenever you're
Can you
ready.
do that? We're just going to swim normal. I'll pick you because you have a good swim.
Okay.
We're going to swim to Elisa. Right there. And let's go.
Go next to.
How many strokes for Dane?
We got a southpaw there.
11? How many strokes for Dane? 11? Tom?
I am looking first. You
How's
got
that?
to me first.
When you see that, it's a market difference. The last one we had was almost double. So Dane's a good swimmer, that's why I picked him. We want to be efficient. And one of the good things I want to talk to you about is we want to do hip-driven stroke, not arm-driven stroke. These are some of your weakest muscles. These are some of your smallest, tiniest joints. You get your core here. So a baseball player, anybody watching the Dodgers? Yeah? I think they're doing okay, right? So the pitcher, if Elisa, right? Elisa is my catcher. Pitcher does not throw this way. A pitcher, right here, the pitcher takes third base, will coil, and then drop, drive, change the power from the hip, and transfer that to the arms. That's kind of swinging. So the way that looks is, we're going to think about using our core, which again, this is really good news. Take your forefingers, I want you to put them on your hip pointers. Then take your thumbs and put them on your rib cage. This is where you swim, right in your core. That is where you drive your swim. It's not your arms. So here's what that looks like. You're going to have to go back. This is focal number 2. I want you to think about hip rotation high and drive. Spear. Here we go. You guys try that back. 25 yards, please. Hip-driven stroke, filter 2. More like a catamaran, less like a tugboat. Tugboat's pushing that water. We want to go drive to the water. Third one, we're swimming. We're going to need to breathe. Not the other way around. So when we're breathing, we want to make sure we use passive goggles. So as an example, when you breathe, you create a bow wave. And in that bow wave, you're basically pushing water in this little space behind you. You can breathe right back here. You breathe on the top side of your mouth. Yeah, that's right. So you keep the bottom side closed. right? It looks kind of funny. We're out here like, look at you, like, oh, you got like an RBF going on. And so it's up here, you're breathing in and you do half a gobble. The reason you don't do it that way is if you are looking like this, and you're coming out of the water like this, we call forward swimming. Then your shoulders start rotating, the hips start rotating, and then the legs start splaying, and aerodynamically it's not so good. You want to be efficient. The only thing really moves when you swim other than the rotation is your head. So I want you to think about half a goggle. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Here you see the bottom part of my goggle when you swim, right? So I'm going to swim this way. If you see this part of the goggle, I have failed, right? Half a goggle, breathing in the sun. I love what you're doing. Good. Here we go. Let's try that. 25 yards in, 25 yards to the right. We want you to swim and sight frequently. Most people don't because of the technique. So a lot of times what happens is when you're swimming, your body's like this, you start to sight, you go like this. Then you do this and that. It's not the most efficient way. So we're going to teach you the efficient way. So we call it alligator eyes. So the alligator comes out of the water, looks, and then looks back in. You do that breathing technique. Now the reason we don't do it the other way, breathing and then come across, is disoriented. When you come out of the water, your spine's in line, you get that sight, then you breathe on that back side. And you can do it as frequently as you want to. The alternative is just to follow the feet of the person in front of you and hope to God they know exactly where they're going. But I've seen races where we have a 1,600-yard swim, and somebody will come out and say, I got 1,600, and somebody will come out and say, I got 2,200. If they did the same course, more than likely they did some military swimming, left, right, left, right. This is what that technique looks like. And we'll have a second part of this. So I'm going to come to him. I'm just going to swim kind of to him. This is what that looks like. Here we go.
Very
Position. So, fill the water with your hands, just kind of fully glide.
No pause.
But
You see a pause? Get your sight, get your breath. You don't have to pause. 25 yards, let's go. Quite often on that drill, I get asked to do that twice just to get the mechanics to try to come up with it. The mechanics of that is each arm goes out, you lift up the barrel of that arm, you get that sight, and then again, you breathe in the back side. How do you try it one more time? Right now. That looks like one more time.
Okay.
and then the other thing that I like to always have.
Here we go. Let's try it one more time. Sighting, focal 4.
Still touching the ground.
Oh, that's okay. That's the second thing. You guys are so mean.
Oh,
If you have kicked me today, please raise your hand. All right, so the fifth one we talked about, we want to talk about we're going to do that in our second camp, or in our second class, and I will tell you what's quick. I think it's really have free All right, so here's what we're doing. So I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think about a ladder up to the stars. I want you to slide your right arm up, and I think you guys are all like Southern Baptist now or something. But you put that right arm up, and I want you to grab that rung of that ladder. You're going to climb up that ladder. The right hand, you should grab the inside, center, or the left side of that ladder.
If you're following a pair of feet, they
What
know
side?
where they're going.
Right?
Deciding for you, but if they don't,
Center, okay.
you're a little bit off.
Okay, let's open our eyes. Yeah, I
Side. So
do you think you're going to convert to something.
demonstrate
The answer is you want to come out here and get wide on that catch. You want to be out wide on the range. Okay? Here's what we're looking at from the side. Do I have anybody here under 30?
my side.
Anybody?
I'm sided forward.
Okay. So we had these things called clocks. And so clock was, this was 12, and that's 3, and that's 6. Anyway, it was a thing. And then that's 9. So what we want to do is when we're coming in the water, we don't want to come in at 3, we want to come in at about 3/3. We want to bring that hand in under the water. You don't want to go here and push down. Come about 3/3. Then what happens is, the second thing you need to think about, a lot of people keep thinking about the fingers, don't think about your fingers, think about your elbow. Is you want to get your elbow in a position where your fingers are pointing down. But again, if you move your elbow in the right location, your fingers will follow. And now you're pointing down. And then you guys see on this blue 70 kit, you guys see this area? That's actually the area that you push, right here. So right there, you're going to do a nice push, and when your body pushes, your elbow kind of stays the same place in the water, otherwise it's called slippage, and then your arm kind of goes back. And then when you recover, you do not do the whip. When you do the recover, I want you to take your thumb and put it on your thigh, and bring that thumb up your thigh, and you kind of, it's called a zipper drill. You come up here, and then you go again, right? So it goes 3 in, 3:30, transition. It's the only time I want you to be violent, is when you go to that 6 location, push on that, and then that'll take you all the way through, and then you're going to do that zipper drill back up to do it again. This is what that looks like. Now, sounds easy. You're good. It might take a while to get that. So this is what that looks like, and then I'm going to have you do it. Here we go. You guys try that? Let's practice that. Building a good foundation. Let's go. One, whatever happens here for the AA meeting, you can hear. And then number 2 is when you're done swimming, come around my shoulder and then kind of look what I'm seeing, because you'll be able to see what I'm seeing. It'll happen very, very quickly. You're like, got it. It's going to be incredibly helpful. Whoever wants to come first, just swim towards me. Except if you can. Go ahead. So sweet. she has especially with the left arm, a crossover. Remember we talked about doing the climb? Go going up the ladder? She's climbing over here. She's gonna, everything I'm telling you is gonna make it more efficient. Choose to do it or not. But you're gonna wanna get out here wide. Okay? Nice job. Next. I did say right shot. Oh my goodness. That is, you guys seeing the crossover, especially on the left? Are you guys seeing it? So that's a fine swim. That looks like a great swim. But you're doing a big crossover on the left. You come out here wide, you're actually going to go fast. Nice job. Next. Yep. Right off that left shoulder. You guys see the arms coming in and going out? So when you come in, you're sweating, you're turning your hand under. I want you to come and bring it back. So you're bringing that like this. Next, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Anybody listen to Beyonce this morning? Anybody do some Bay High? We're going to want you to put your head down. Because you're going to want to be relaxed. Now, one of the things I want you to put in your swim ball is put a tennis ball. All the way to the tennis ball there. Do that, come up to your head, your tennis ball drop down. And that tennis ball is going to go. Next. Love you, Bruce. Next. Why didn't I listen to Rihanna this morning? She's time to go. And that's a great choice. I love everything about that except your left arm in particular has a crossover. But I love everything about this. Next. Let's be shy. It's a nice swim. I'd love to see you out there even longer. Okay. But it's a nice swim. Thank you. You in high school?
No.
Next.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whip. That's the whip. See the whip arm whip? You got the whip. Whip. So I want you to bring it. Come on. Every energy you're doing here is wasted energy. You got the whip. Next. I would love you. Are you a primarily newer swimmer? Yeah. So I would like you to work on that half a goblet. Just get that breath. You're coming out a little bit. Just get that breath. Breathe in there. Great job. You're going to do great. Next. Oh, wow. So of everybody here today, you have the most upset. So when you come up there, you're doing the whip and you got the thumb down.
Got it.
So I would love you to see you relax in your recovery and come forward. You got nice upset. Next, you're going to do great tomorrow. You know what? I would say less kick. You got a really heavy kick. Let the wetsuit do the work. The kick should just keep you flat. You're going to need that kick when you bike and run. Less kick. Nice kick. Next. Nice work. Newer swimmer, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are kicking like a madman, like you were doing like a lot of kicking. Relax that swim. This is what your kick should look like. Just keeping you flat, not as a propulsion force. You're probably putting 40% of your effort into the kick. Flat. Nice work. Next. That looks relaxed. Next. You want to slow down. So everything in here is you want to slow down and you get that catch. The catch is where you want to bring that up and get a nice catch. So I want you next time you go to the pool, give me the number of strokes, write that down, and then try to think about how to do less. Nice one. Next, you got the dirty half dozen left. So you're going to want to keep your head down. You're coming forward, a lot of energy. I can't sustain that for 100 days. So you're going to relax. Keep your head down. Don't put your pushes. You're attacking. We have 5 laps. Amazing. Good job. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that. Yeah. I don't have a comment. I want to say. What is this? What is this? That's a serious crossover, right? Crossover. Crossing. You need to get out here. Give me all your money. Yes. Okay. Look at the elbows coming out. That looks like not coming from the top. Coming from the side. When it comes from the top, it's coming from the side. When I get coming around here, it's tighter. It's actually different from the top. What is this one? Yeah, I mean, it's very easy, right? Crossover. Let's get out of your water. Go ahead, you're next. We have a run bike run up.
That's great.
You're coming up flat. I'd love to see you go in and get that.
Okay.
That like 6 to 8 inches. Okay. So, before we... That joke was not good. So a couple things we want to talk about here. A lot of folks do not want contact, right? Like, after that monster, I don't want contact. So if you have a buoy, if you want to go out wide, right? Go out 5 yards. Nobody's going to be out 50 yards, right? You don't got that far. But don't go tight to that buoy if you don't want contact. I don't mind contact. I'm 6'3". I love contact. Let's go. But you don't want to go contact. So what I'd like to do right? That's what you're going to do. I would prefer it to be flat. That's the most efficient. That's not what you're going to do. I get it. So the point is like sometimes we overcharge it, then we're in the water, and if you start panicking, just relax, like the what you can do, or turn over, give a hand, rest on the board. That. So we're going to have a little fun. If you're coming a little north, a little towards me, we're going to have a little fun called a turbo turn. I'm going to get you to do a turbo turn. So much fun. So when you do this, normal ways to go around a buoy, and then this is another way to go around it. Who wants to try that? Who wants to try that? You still stay out there?
Yeah.
All right, let's do a clockwise or counterclockwise. Clockwise. Let's do a clockwise turbo turn. Guys, and then you're done, and then we'll go pick up our package.
Can you like do that in slow motion?
I'm sorry. They'll be on both, actually. There'll be one. All right, so we go, we rotate over, and then we do a flutter kick and go. Here we go. Fun, right?
Yeah.
Let's go, try it. Clockwise. Yeah, clockwise. Let's go. Rotate. There you go. Flutter kick.
Uh-oh.
I want to see that.
Uh-oh. You got a person going the wrong way. She just ran into head to head.
questions you guys have for? We're going to do an announcement at 9. We have about 20 minutes to drive. Please do drive. If you haven't driven my course, make sure you drive it or bike it either way. Who has some swimming questions? Any swimming questions for Mark? See the rolling swims that I didn't talk about that. Did they talk about that? They did?
I didn't really hear it.
So if you're a 1 minute or a 100 swimming between 425, 30, 230, you just simply do stretch out. Any swimming questions? You guys are fully covered. You had an hour and 41 minute clinic today. Was this good?
Oh, yeah. Great. No. Finish archery.
Yeah, I would tell you this. There will be swim warm up, and I always, so a couple things I'm concentrating when it comes to swimming. One, don't get in this water unless you saw a water quality test. If you see a water quality test on our website, it's up there. So always check water quality, right? Every race director goes through that. Number two, don't go to a race unless you have a swim warm up. I don't jump off of boats and go in the race if I can't get a swim warm up. So if I get reminded to that race, I'm not going to do that race. So make sure you take advantage of your swim warm up. And with the stretching, just get acclimated. Just keep nice motion. Typically before a race, I'll even do like a mile run, heart rate. Fair? Good. The other thing is if it's a big race and it's a long line, like we move this line pretty well, but I take a little bit of a water, like a water bottle, a plastic bottle, because I've been in long lines before and I'm getting dry and there's a swim and dry. And so you have to hydrate and you just throw it away so you go into water. It's explosive. One you don't care about. Other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Entry into the attic. Entry into the water.
Yes.
Any like
Tips? Yes. So I like to start swimming as quick as possible. So here's the reason. Even though this wonderful floor, could be a rock down there, I bust my foot, I don't want to twist my ankle. I want to swim as quick as possible. And on the way out, I want to swim as far as possible to the point of I'm scraping the floor. Even some points where I'll go a little sideways. Okay? Other questions? Okay, one other thing is when I come out of the water, again, you're going to go up here behind the arch, go get you're going to see swim inside, running, bikes are on that side, everything's on that side. You can run right over that bridge. Coming under the water, I have my wetsuit, right? So I'm trying to get that wetsuit off. You don't need a wetsuit stripper. I know that's a considered thing, but if you're an athlete, you don't really need that. What I like to do, and I think if you want to practice it, I don't like losing my goggles, so I have this in my hand, and what I do is I come up out of here, and I try to get down to basically my half, come down, and then what I do is I release it into my, of course my watch, my burner. I leave it there all day, so I don't lose my goggles. I can't tell you how many free pairs of goggles I get from you guys when you go. So just leave that in the rest of the day. By the way, if you can't find your goggles, go to your closet later. Other questions? Hey, go get drawn. Start working on tomorrow with rest. And then at 9 o'clock we'll do that announcement. And then you guys get to pick up your packets. At 9, everybody else has to control that. By the way, we're not sponsored for today to make the announcement, so be generous. We're not practicing bonus. So thank you. Thank you guys.
Good job, everybody. How many stingrays did you find?
so many.
No many? You scared them off?
That little alleviation coming out back. Hold it up. Try to be pulled up and get that clutch as tight as you can. You can have it right both of them. Because essentially, if it's tight here, got more questions. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not in charge.
So what we do here is, maybe.
So wait, is it started? Is it running?
See, it's counting.
What did they do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what's going on.
Okay. Oh, we got a lot of other stuff. I'll be the one. All right. Is this the second group? Do I have everybody? Hi. No. Kind of. A couple.
Okay, I won't make it. No, no.
Give most. Yep. Give them under a minute or two just to get kind of everybody around. All right. Are you over here for the dry lane? Did you already do the swim? All right, come on around. Cool. Well, how was the swim?
Good.
Yeah, is the water temp pretty nice?
Yeah.
All right. So you've gone through and you've done the swim. Now let's talk about the rest of the race. All right, dry land piece as far as transition setup and a couple other things. And I'll start by first saying, hi, I'm Jared, again. Tell you a little bit about myself. I've been racing triathlon for the better part of 2 decades. I raced for the Armed Forces for a number of years with the Navy triathlon team. And then I got in with Caltri, and I've been doing the operations officer for a couple of years now. And I love it. And I love triathlon, obviously, if I've been sticking around for 2 decades. And so what I want to be able to do is kind of impart some of the things that I've learned over the years. And what I'll say is I have four rules that I kind of follow for every race, right? My first rule is to be safe. First and foremost, I try to do everything as safe as I possibly can, right? And because I obviously don't want to crash, I don't want to have to go, and deal with all that. And I have more than once, so never fun, which is why I ask you to please tomorrow be safe. 2 is to have fun, right? I mean, in a weird kind of way where you want to abuse yourself and you want to suffer a little bit, but nevertheless, still having fun and enjoying the challenge of triathlon. Number 3 is to stay calm. And what I mean obviously by that is race day brings anxiety, and what I want you to do is kind of think of ways that you can reduce or altogether eliminate the anxiety of race day. How many, by the way, is the first time? All right, so first time you already have anxiety, so let's not add to that anxiety, right? And number 4 is something that I learned a long time ago is slow is smooth and smooth is fast, right? And so as you're going through the day, slow down, take a breath, and just enjoy the moment, if you will, all right? Kind of watch what everyone else is doing and just absorb. That's what I love to do about the race, is just kind of watch what everyone's doing and take my time as I'm getting, especially in the morning, set up, right? I try to get here early, which helps to reduce my anxiety, because then I'm not rushing to get everything set up and get to the swim start, which is on the other side, right? I'm getting here early so I don't have to fight for parking, and then have to add a bonus time of like 10 minutes to park in the back lot and walk all the way over if I'm late. So those little things add up, right, in anxiety. And what I want to do is take any of those out of the way. So that's kind of my 4 rules. It's helped me along. I hope it helps you. And then we'll move right into how I set up in transition. So when I come in early in the morning, I'm getting here to transition. I'm trying to be one of the first people into transition so I can get everything set up. This race is awesome because you can do a lot of your setup today, right? And not have to worry about it tomorrow morning. But for most races, you're doing transition setup in the morning when you come in. You're getting your packet in the morning, and then you're going into transition and you're setting up. So we'll talk about how you would do it for a morning race where you're setting up transition that morning. What I do is after I've gotten my packet, I come and I find a spot. I like to try and find, and a lot of races are like this, it's a first come, first serve for the transition. So I like to try and find an end cap, if you will, for a rack. And I do that so that I can then put my stuff right here at the end of the cap, and I have everything kind of all right in a close proximity. If I can't get here in time and I don't have an end cap, I would take all my stuff that I end up setting up and I put it behind my back wheel. One of the things that I didn't remind them that I'll tell you is when you come into transition and you're setting up bikes, try to remember to stagger. So my bike's facing this way. We're trying to put 8 bikes on a rack, right? So what you want to do is, if my bike's facing this way, the next person's going to put their bike in facing this way. So if you alternate by that, then what that gives you is the ability to set up right behind your bike, and that would be the setup for the other person on the other side, right? And that way, it's all staggered out. So you have, if there's 8 bikes, obviously 4 stations on one side, 4 changing, setup stations on the other side for each axle. Okay. So now let's go through what I put into my transition. The things that I have are basically, I have a little rubber mat. I took a yoga mat and I cut it up, and I've got this little section here. It's about the same size as a hand towel. I try to keep everything is not compact, but is organized and as small as possible, so I'm not taking up more space than necessary, and so I'm not, crashing into somebody else's areas. When I get there, I'll put the mat down, and then I'll get my stuff out that I'm going to use. My running shoes and my bike shoes I put on the mat, and my running gear. And I set it up so that I get from left to right, if you will, bike and then run. Along with that, I've got my bike on the rack. What I'll end up doing is I'll put my helmet on my handlebars, and I also put my sunglasses that I'm going to wear in my helmet. And because I like wearing socks, I've done many races, I've done races without. I just find it more comfortable to wear socks for the bike and the run. So I put my socks in my helmet. They're right there and easy for me to grab. And then, of course, the other thing that you're going to want to make sure you have out is your wetsuit, the swim cap that we provide for you, and goggles. Now, there are a couple other things that you'll receive along with the swim cap. One is your race bib, the number, and then there's 2 other numbers that are attached to that, stickies. One will go on your helmet, and one goes on your bike. Put it anywhere on your bike, doesn't matter, but we want to make sure you have both of those on there. And then, obviously, what you're going to wear for the rest of the race, besides just the swim. I have a tri-kit. If you don't have that, a pair of shorts, what you're going to run, ride your bike and run in. I have that. I always make sure the night before that I set up with my heart rate strap, my race kit that I'm going to wear, and then the last thing that's in that bag is a timing chip. And you're going to want to make sure you put that on in the morning as well. I put it on my left leg, and I put it, it's neoprene and it's Velcro. It's not going anywhere, I promise. It will stay there until somebody takes it off. You take it off after you get through the arch. It is necessary to have for the entire event. So you want to make sure you have it before you go across the mat and in the water for the race. And you don't take it off until you get through the arch after you finish the run. All right? Yes.
Is it fine to put the time chip under the wetsuit?
Yes. Yes. I get that question a lot. So people believe that potentially the timing chip isn't going to get read by the mat if it's under your wetsuit. in 20 years, I've been doing with wetsuit over the timing chip, and I've had my time recorded every time. So I don't think you have to worry about it.
Yeah, because on some competitions there is no.
I haven't had any challenges with it, so I'll tell you, I put it under my wetsuit. Okay, so timing chip on, and you've got your race gear, and here we are. We've set everything up. The other things that I have with me are like 2 little goodie bags, and some of these are things that I've learned over the years to just have with me for different races. I've been like, oh man, I wish I had like zip ties, because the bike number wasn't sticky. It was just a hard plastic, right? Having some zip ties, or some electrical tape, or like some glue for the wetsuit. I pulled a hole in it. That's just some little things, little knickknacks that I put in there just to have, and a pair of scissors. And then my other goodie bag, I like to have a couple of things in it. Is obviously, don't forget sunscreen. I cramp up a lot, so I always have salt tablets in my bag. And then body glide, so I don't, because I will chafe almost every time up on my neck, so I'll bury myself in body glide around my neck.
On your neck?
Yep. I do a little bit, but not so much. I also have a little jar of Vaseline that I put on along my wrist just to help get the wetsuit off. It helps it slide off a little bit easier. And then one of the tricks that I've used over the years that I found works great is baby shampoo in my goggles. Very little dab, only a little bit on your finger. Rub it in the goggles, then rinse out the goggles really well with water. But I've done that for years, and I can tell you I can put the goggles on before I get in the water, 10 minutes before, and I can wear my goggles through the whole race, and they will never fog up. And I can take them off and put them back on if I needed to. They still won't fog. So, cheap, easy little trick if you want to follow that. And the other thing, probably 2 things that I would tell you to make sure you don't forget, or if you don't have, it helps, is a headlamp. Like tomorrow morning when you come into transition, if you're like me, you come in as early as you can. It'll be dark, so having a headlamp helps, so you can see what you're doing while you're setting up. And then I always bring an extra pair of shorts for post-race. I like to use the shirt that is in my bag as my post-race shirt. And then the only other thing that I like to always have is a washcloth that I put with my bike. And you'll ask, why a washcloth? Because when I get out of the water and I've run across all the sand and everything, before I put the socks on, I wipe my face off, and then I'll wipe my feet off. And then I'll put my socks on. Little tricks of the trade. Okay, so now you've got transition set up, all done, and now you're ready to actually do the race. So you'll go around to that side for the swim start, and the swim is a rolling seated start, which means that we're going to have a bunch of chutes set up with times on them, right? So if your sprint starts at 7, and there's going to be a chute that has a 1 minute, and then there's another chute with 1:30, and then a 2, and a 2:30, and a 3, right? And that's a 1 minute on the 100 yards. So if you don't know where you swim time-wise, right? Gauge by how, obviously, are you one of the fastest swimmers in the swim lanes, or are you in the slower swim lanes, and kind of feel by that. And I will also tell you this, that it is always better to see yourself a little slower than it is faster. And I say that because what I would hate for you to do is, especially if this is your first race, is to get into a fast group and then a lot of people are passing over you, right? Whereas if you see it a little bit slower, you feel a little bit better when you're able to get moving ahead of some. And you don't feel like you're getting run over.
Does it go against your time?
If you no, your time starts when you cross the mat. All right. So yeah, doesn't affect you. And then so you'll rolling start, cross the mat, get in the water, nice and calm. Follow all those 5 techniques that you just learned this morning. Get across. You're going to come up out of the water right over here on the other side of the arch, and you go around that last palm tree onto the bike path. And transition is set up in a rectangle, and you'll notice when you go over there, the swim in and run out are on this side, closest to the bridge, and then the bike out and bike in are on the opposite side, closest to the road over there. All right, so you're going to run around into swim in. You're going to find your bike. You're going to come over, take your wetsuit off. One of the tricks that I'll tell you is as I'm coming out of the water, I'll unzip, and as I'm coming up the beach, I'll take an arm out. I always take my right arm out first, and then as I'm pulling off before I start pulling off my left arm, I actually pull off my swim cap and my goggles. I'll grab them both, and then I'll pull my arm out, and I'll leave my swim cap and goggles in the sleeve. And then they're going to be there the rest of the day until you collect everything up. You don't have to worry about finding them falling off or falling into transition somewhere. They're tucked away in the wetsuit. So now I pull my wetsuit down to my waist. Once I get into transition, I'm on my mat. I'm able to take it the rest of the way off. Obviously, I stomp on it a little bit. I fight with the ankles a little bit. And then once I've gotten out, I pile my wetsuit up right under my bike, pretty much right about there, in a nice big pile. And then I'm ready to get on to the rest of the stuff, right? Like I said, I use my hand towel, I wipe my face, I wipe my feet, put my socks on, put my shoes on, I put my goggles on, I put my helmet on, I clip my helmet, and then I'll grab my bike and I'm ready to roll out. As you go out, you bike out, there is a mount and dismount line. Please don't get on the bike before that, all right? So you'll run out to the mount line. Once you're out on the mountain line, get on your bike, cruise up. It's a pretty easy course in that it's riding Back Bay up to East Bluff. You'll turn right onto East Bluff, and you'll follow that up to a turnaround point, and you'll come back down, and you'll go to Jamboree, basically, and you'll do another turnaround, and then you'll come right back to Back Bay, and you'll ride Back Bay down, and if it's the sprint, you're coming in, transition. If you're doing the Olympic, there's a turnaround, and you're going back out, and you're doing it again, okay? So now, you finish your bike, you're coming in, and again, there'll be a mount and dismount line. Make sure you get off at the dismount line. You'll bring your bike back into transition, and you'll rack it. I then take my helmet off, my glasses are already on. I take my bike shoes off. I'll put my run shoes on, and then I'll grab the other run equipment that I have, which is just a race belt and my hat that I always like to run with, right? I also carry a water bottle just because I like to have it. Again, I deal with cramping a lot, so having something helps me out. And I'm carrying that, and I'm heading out of transition. So remember, bike in and bike out, swim in and run out. So I'm going to be heading that way. And I'm walking through transition, and I'm getting my stuff on as I'm moving along just to save some time. On the run, you're going to run across the bridge. You're going to follow the road back to the trail that's a little ways back there, a bike path. You're going to turn left onto that bike path, and follows it all the way around to the entrance to Newport Dunes, and then you're going to turn right onto another path that'll lead you up to the street, Jamboree, and then you'll turn, so you'll stay to the right, and you'll follow it. It'll get to a turnaround point. There'll be a sign that says turn around, and you'll follow that, and you'll stay to the right, and you'll turn right, and you'll follow that path up to the intersection where it'll give you a little turnaround. Turn around, and then you'll come back down, and you'll stay to the right, you'll turn, and you'll follow it back to the turnaround point, or to the turn point, where you'll then turn left, and you'll follow the path around that you came on to begin with, all the way back until you get to the bridge. When you get to the bridge, you're then going to turn right, and you're going to follow the bike path that's along the water over here, all the way around. There's an inside bike path, and that'll come over here, and basically can't really see it right now, but between just at that last lifeguard stand before the gazebos, there's going to be a point right there where you're going to enter the sand. If you're doing a sprint, you're going to enter the sand, and you're going to run along this beach all the way to the finish arch. You're going to put your arms up, you're going to celebrate, you're done, congratulations, you finished the triathlon. If you're Olympic, you're going to stay on the path, you're going to run along, and you're going to keep going, right? And you're going to see the finish arch, and you go, God, I wish I was doing that right now. And then you're going to go back out for a second loop. And again, on the second loop, after you get to that lifeguard stand, after the gazebos, you're going to hook it to the left, and you're going to follow the beach all the way to the finish arch. So then you can go, thank God I'm done, right? Which is what I do. Yep, it's just 2 loops. So you do the same thing. Yes. Bike is 3 loops. Okay. So that gets you through all of that, right? And then after you get through the arch, there'll be food and everything over there. Spectators that are with you, you get to celebrate, enjoy the festivities, soak it all up. And again, the word of the day is have fun. So I hope that you will. First thing though is always going to be safety. So a couple other little details that I want to make sure to cover with you on safety, right? One is please don't forget the helmet. You have to have a helmet. Without a helmet, you can't get on the bike. And that's for your safety. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of athletes out there on the course. I don't want anything to happen to you that potentially have an accident and you didn't have a helmet. That would be devastating. So, helmet's important. The other thing that I'm asking you is please, no headphones on the bike or the run. And here's why. Because I want you to communicate with each other. And what that means is when you're on the bike, I want you to stay to the right. And if you're going to pass someone, you're going to tell them you're passing on the left. And if you have headphones in, you might not hear someone telling you they're going to pass you on the left, right? So, no headphones so that you can hear clear communications of not only your fellow athletes, but potentially any of the volunteers who are giving you directions as well. All right, so no headphones on the bike or the run. And again, clearly communicate. If you will, pass anybody, pass them on the left, and make sure they hear you saying passing on the left. The other thing is the hill over there on East Bluff, it is a bit of a hill. So if it's challenging, I would recommend you to get off the bike. I would ask you not to use a zigzag pattern to get up the hill, right? As you zigzag, someone else who may be trying to pass on the left then becomes it becomes an accident. So walk it up if you have to. Coming down, please ride within your abilities. I love going downhill. I love going fast downhill. But that is probably not the point to go as fast as you possibly can downhill. Because again, there are a lot of athletes, right? So I want you to be safe. And so that's kind of the few things that I wanted to make sure you know. What questions do you have after all of that? Yes. Great question. So, where can visitors and spectators stand and watch? And so what I will say is, obviously, totally want them out here on the beach to see you swimming across, right? So out here, perfect. They'll be able to access the beach from the pavilion, right? This is the next plane over the beach, and that's showing the day. So coming in, they will be out here on the beach to watch you. The other area is as you get out on the bike, just out there by the mountain line, there'll be some barriers on that other side of that. I more than encourage you to have spectators out there, especially if you're doing the Olympic and they want to see you turning around. That's also where they'll be able to see you coming in and out. That's another good area. All right. On the bike course is not a good spot for them. I have spectators try to get down on the sidewalk all the time. I ask them to stay out of that area. Just keep our course closed, and that's so that's one less person you have to worry about on while you're doing your race. And this is also key. Be mindful that it's a closed course, but there are always going to be people who are going to be out there with their dogs. I try to prevent that as much as possible, right? But Sunday strollers are going to want to do their Sunday routine and take the path to walk their dogs. Just be mindful of there may be others out there that aren't racing, okay? So keep that in mind. Other questions? Oh, okay, yes. That's a good question. So the question is how do you prepare your nutrition? And for me, what I like to do, and I'll kind of run you through what I do in the morning, right, is I'll have what is my standard for the most part is a bowl of oatmeal early, right, or a bagel, and then an hour before the race, I usually have just a little bar or a banana, and then for race on throughout the day, I will have a water bottle. I always have at least a water bottle with like Gatorade or some electrolytes that you like. And then I have a couple gels and another bar. And what I do is I try to consume most of my nutrition on the bike. Might be a little challenging to try and consume any of that nutrition in the swim. Try. Flip over on your back and do that. But so I do most of mine on the bike because it's hard to try and consume nutrition on the run as well, right? Other than fluids. But I will typically have one gel with me on the run. So I'll usually, if I'm doing the Olympic, I will have 2 gels and a bar. I like to try and consume that much while I'm on the bike. Does that kind of help? Yep, that's what I'll do. And I'll have that bottle, the one bottle, plus I'll have my little run bottle that I have that has my electrolytes in it, and the one gel that I have with my run.
Okay.
It's like no one's
On the spot, on the run course? Yes. I highly recommend if on the course, any race you're at, I always use what they have. I try to take in water as much as possible, or electrolytes as much as possible. So yes.
How early?
So transition. Well, if it opens at 5, I like to be here. I like to be there at 5. I like to be ready to go in as soon as they open transition. Again, because the earlier I get here, for me, what I like to do is once I've got everything set up, right, I've got some time in there, is what I'm hoping for, so that I can sit there and just watch. And take a deep breath, be like, yeah, I got it. And that's also the time that I'll take to visualize the whole race. I like to just take a minute to go over my race routine, what I plan to do for the race day. And if I get here early enough to do that, that's that time that I have to do so. All right? Okay, what's another question? Yes.
Pointing out visually for the swim, where will we be entering for like the events?
So swim start is going to be, you see the green fencing over there? It's going to be to the right of that. And then swim finish comes out right over here on the past the arches right up there.
Oh, so we don't have to run
This isn't a tiny.
No. Finish arch is not for the swim.
Do you have to wear a race belt during the ride?
Great question. Do you have to wear your race belt during the ride? No. The only time you need to wear the race belt is for the run. All right? Now, if you don't have like a race belt and you're going to pin your shirt, pin it on, I would pin the number to your shirt beforehand and then you wear it for the bike.
Take it off at the end and he's like,
Other questions? That's a great question. Any? One thing I do want to remind you is what I said early in the brief is the swim cap. Make sure we give you one, and you have one already for a lot of you. Make sure you're wearing that swim cap so we know that you're a part of our event, right? And so the lifeguards and everyone out there can keep track of you as well. So please have the swim cap on for our race. Again, I like putting my goggles on and then my swim cap over it. That's a preference to mine. But I do know a lot of people who like to put the swim cap on and goggles over. Other questions? Anything?
Is my time recorded as I come into the fight, and that's it, or do I go
Your time will finish if you're doing just the aqua bike. Yes, you're going to go into the transition, and then you are going to come out and come over to the finish line.
There's a lot of security there tonight if we brought our bikes in there today.
Yes. I would never expect you to trust me with $2 million worth of bikes and not have security.
And then for like, have you ever done that? Like
Yes.
at the beach, and then do you cover your bike? Because I'm worried, I don't want it to get all the dew overnight.
I don't put a lot of cover over it. I love having a transition open the day before a race. I always put the bike out the day before. It's just one less thing to have to deal with in the morning, right? The only thing I do is I typically put like a little trash bag over my seat or over my handlebars, but nothing. I'm not too worried about it because in the morning I'll do this.
Like if I put a big towel over the bike itself, or like a blanket or something, that's okay.
Yeah.
you put the, like, if you're setting up, you put, kind of like,
I'll typically do that in the morning, and this is why. And that's a great question. I don't set up everything the day before other than the bike, because one of my night routines or afternoon routines before the race is I lay everything out to make sure I have it. So I'll take and have a pile of what is my swim gear, right? And then I'll have my bike gear, and then I'll have my run gear, and I'll make sure that I've got everything that I'm supposed to have for the race. I've forgotten more than one thing over the years, right? I'm like, and I mean, you'll see tomorrow, there will be people who will show up and they'll forget things. People who forgot a helmet, right? I forgot my helmet. Someone came from Boston in LA and forgot their helmet. And I was like, so, and then, you'll hear over the announcements, anyone have a spare helmet? So I like to lay everything out the afternoon before, just to make sure that I don't miss anything. And then I'll pack it all in. And I'll bring it down. Good to go. Other questions? Yes, and I'll get to you.
The run finish is on the sand?
Yes. Run finish, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You'll remember it.
That's not nice.
What, I mean, you're going to run an Olympic? You don't want to run across the sand to finish? All right. Yes. You're going to run, and not just like, a little distance. I really wanted to make it fun for you. I'm going to have you run all the way from that base to that last lifeguard chair, all the way along the beach. All the way to the finish arch.
I've never seen that before.
So, Super Frog. If you've ever heard of Super Frog, they did the whole race. So, yeah. Okay. my warm-up routine. Okay, so my warm-up routine is after I've got everything set up and after I've done a little visualization and taken some deep breaths, I will typically get some stretching done. And then after I've done some of my normal stretches, I'll go for a short jog. And when I say a short jog, I'm 5 minutes at the most, and it's at a leisure pace. It's just to get kind of the muscles moving and get everything done. Because what I know is I've already done all the hard work. So if I have, it's not like, you know, crashing, studying, crash test, studying for a test the next day. Like, that warm-up isn't going to do me good other than just get the blood in the muscles. And so then I'll do that for 5 minutes or so. And then it's back to kind of just enjoying the moment, relaxing, and then thinking about, you know, well, I've got to walk all the way around to the other side, so I'm going to get ready to go now. And I'll get my wetsuit on halfway, and I'll start moving my way over to the swim start. Oh, and about 15 minutes before I get in the water, I like to take a gel. So I like to have a little extra nutrition, so I'll take a gel right before I start the swim.
What about caffeine?
Most of the gels I always have caffeine, but I love caffeine, so like I drink coffee in the morning, I drink coffee in the afternoon. I might have, you know, an addiction to caffeine, which is acceptable for me. Yes, 10 minutes before the swim, it'll be open for a warm-up. And once I get over there, I do that. That's a great question. So please take a few minutes to get in the water and get comfortable. I'll get in and I'll just float there for a minute again, just enjoying the moment, getting calm and relaxed in the water. And then after I've done that, I might swim, you know, at most 25 yards or so. I'll just get my arms moving, get the feel of the water, and then I'll swim back and I'm ready to go. Well, there's some bathrooms there, and then there's 20 porta potties going around. From transition to swim start? Depends. There are some races that I have. I've worn like Tevas or water socks sometimes, depending on where I'm racing. Here, I would walk there with the proper sand around, or I go to the bridge. But I'm like, middle of the lake was from out transition all the way up to the anything else? All right, well, have fun tomorrow. You guys have done all the hard work. This is going to be great. You're going to have a great time. I know it. I'll be here. I'll be cheering you on every step of the way. So, congrats. You're already winning. I'll see you.
Thank you.
Is one, safety is paramount. All right, I believe the safety piece is the most important part. I've crashed a couple times. I've seen others crash. I've had other issues because of lack of safety. So tomorrow, I want your mindset to be about being safe, first and foremost, okay? My second rule is to have fun, right? No one wants to do something if they're not having fun. Even if in a weird, crazy kind of way you're suffering through that fun, still have fun. The third part that I always try to remind myself is to stay calm, all right? There's a lot of things on race day that can create anxiety for you, and I want to hopefully today kind of break down some of the things that you can do to better prepare yourself so that race morning you can fight off anxiety. For the most part, there's still anxiety. Coming, again, first time doing a triathlon? Okay, so plenty of anxiety, I'm sure, and a lot of questions. I want to help get you through that so tomorrow you can have fun and not be as anxious. And then fourth is, and I don't know if anyone's ever heard this, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, right? So that is kind of tied to anxiety. The more anxious you are, the faster you go, the things you forget. And so slow down, take your time, take some deep breaths in there, and you're going to get through. Everyone here is going to finish. I'm certain of it. You're going to have fun doing it. So that's my 4 rules that I kind of follow. I hope that helps a little bit. And now I'm going to show you how I set up transition, and then we'll talk about the flow of the race. All right. When I get in the morning, one of the things I do to lower my anxiety is I get here as early as I can. In fact, some of my friends who race with me typically don't like to come with me because I like to be there before transition opens, so I can be one of the first to get into transition. That means getting up earlier, but it helps me so I can reduce that anxiety. And one of the things it helps me with is it gives me a lot of races like ours, first come, first serve, pick of transition, right? So when I get in and I've got my packet, if it's not a packet before day, right? This race is awesome because you can drop off your bike today, and a lot of you are here today. But if it's not, morning of, you'll get your packet, you'll start getting into transition. I go and find, for me, what I like is finding an end cap, right? It's easier, and once I put my bike on the rack, then I can take my bag and I start laying out stuff. And I lay it out in a way that it's kind of left to right, right? From what event you're gonna do to the next event to the last event, right? So once I put my bike out, I grab out my gear. And here's how I have things set up. I have a small mat that I put most of my stuff on, right? That mat, as you can see, is not much bigger than a hand towel. And I try to keep to that so that I'm not taking up more space that somebody else is gonna need as well. If I can't get on the end, I then take my mat and I put it right behind my bike. So I have all my gear right here, all right? And that way, I can get my stuff on and I'm still in my little world right here, right? And I'm not crashing into anybody else's area. So I put my mat down, I get my shoes out. If you only have, for the first time, if you didn't buy bike shoes, no biggie, you have a pair of run shoes. They work just as well on the bike, right? So, but for me, I put out my bike shoes to the left, and then to the right of that, I put all my run gear, okay? And then once I've got kind of that mat set, I make sure I put my helmet up on my bike. If it doesn't sit up there because you don't have air bars, I just lay it on the strap, and that works just as well. And then I put my sunglasses in my helmet as well, just so that I have those ready. And I don't do any of the races without socks. So I like to put my socks right there in my helmet so I don't forget to put them on. And the last thing I make sure to have is just a small hand towel or a washcloth. And that's so that when I get out of the water, especially like coming across all the sand and then just run into transition, before I put my socks on, I can wipe off my feet. Just a quick wipe and wipe off my face if I need to before I wipe my feet. And then I go. Okay, so the only other thing that you have to have ready, right, is your swim gear. Goggles, swim cap, which we provide for you, and if you have a wetsuit, a wetsuit. That's kind of the basics for transition. It doesn't take a lot more than that. The other things that you don't want to forget, especially, obviously, is what you're going to wear that day for the race. If you have a heart rate strap, I've forgotten mine many a times. I try to keep that with it. And then another pair of shorts, and you'll have a t-shirt. So I usually throw that together, and I have that as a post-race to change into, okay? Then I have some little treat bags that I always keep in mind. I always have a headlamp, especially like tomorrow morning, because it's going to be dark when you come into transition. So having a headlamp helps out so you can see what you're doing. And then,
Why would it be dark?
because it's not going to have transition fully to black, right? We're going to shift by an hour, but because over there's not going to be a lot of light.
It's going to be like this dark.
The daylight savings time is tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we're going to get an extra hour of daylight.
you're going to get an extra hour, but
So it's going to be at least this light.
at 7:30, yeah, let's take that off.
Should be the other way.
Thank you. Oh, let's just take it apart real quick. Take it apart? Oh. Yeah, because it's not going to stay there like that for now. I don't think. I'll fix it here. Oh, hold on. Let's just see if it's... Okay, we good?
I really was offering you consistency.
Yeah. All right. Wow. The only problem with trying to use a broken rack for this is that right there. All right. We're good. We'll be good. I think it'll stay for right now without anything on it. Sorry about that. All right. Back to your, yeah. So if transition opens at 5, at race time.
You're talking
race
about in
time,
the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
At race
I
time,
thought
you're going to be light. But when you're setting up at 5 in the morning, it's still going to be some darkness.
Okay.
All right. So, and in some races I've been to many times, it's dark in the transition area. So for the for the first half hour, especially if you're like me and you come in at the very beginning.
I was thinking during the
No, yeah. During the race, it'll be light. In transition in the morning, when you're setting up, it'll be dark. Okay, so that gets through kind of all the stuff that I have with me, is the headlamp and, baggies. So, morning of, I like to have just a little like baggie of some things that I've found help over the years, right? Electrical tape, a pair of scissors, and then like some zip ties if you need to put the number on the bike. They come without like sticky on them, and you have to put it on your top tube. So that's just kind of things I've learned over the years. And then of course, things that I also carry are like sunscreen, very important. I always cramp up, so I grab salt tablets. I use them just to keep from cramping. And then like Body Glide, just to help prevent chafing when you're wearing your wetsuit. I also found a trick. This is the thing that I've learned that I know pay a lot of money for fog spray. Baby shampoo, a very small dab in both goggles, in both of them, and rinse it out well with some water. They won't fog up the entire time you are out there. I haven't had a problem ever. So a little trick of the trade I've learned. And there's two other things in your packet that you will get that you want to make sure you don't forget is your race number, which you put on, you can pin on, there'll be a ton of pins. If you aren't first time, you may have a race belt, or if you've done other races, marathons and that, you may have a race belt, you can put it on the race belt. And then your timing chip, which if you look back in one of the bins, you can see there's a timing chip right there, blue with an orange little, that's the chip itself, and that neoprene, yes, thank you. That neoprene strap, wrap it around your left leg and sit you down. It's not going anywhere, all right? And you'll wear that before you start the swim, and you'll give it back after you get through the finishing arch, all right? And that's how we obviously track you through the course of the race. So that kind of covers all of that. So now, yeah, that covers all of how I set up transition. Let's go through the flow real quick. In the morning, you're gonna obviously start on the other side, okay? And whether you're doing the sprint or the Olympic will be a little bit of a difference. Sprint is just kind of a diagonal across to just over here. So you start over there and you'll swim across. You'll exit over there on the other side of that finishing arch, and you run up and around that last palm tree onto the sidewalk, and then you're going to follow the sidewalk around into the transition area. So the transition area is set up as a rectangle, and the swim in and the run out are on this side. The bike out and the bike in are on that side. All right. So you'll come out of the water, you'll jog your way over, find your bike, do your transition, and as you get ready to get out of the transition, right, the last thing that I do is grab my bike. Before I do that, I put my helmet on after I've gotten everything else, and then I'm rolling out and I'm heading out. I'm getting on the road. The course, if you haven't seen the maps, you'll go out here on the back bay, and you're going to ride all the way up to East Bluff. You're going to turn right onto East Bluff, and you're going to ride up that hill. Here's part of where I say safety is important, right? Is two parts. One, if you have a hard time getting up that hill and you have to walk, that's okay. What I would like to ask you not to do is use a zigzag pattern to try and get up that hill. Because as you zigzag, somebody who's coming up behind you is going to potentially hit you, causing a wreck, right? So don't zigzag. If you have to walk, it's all good. Coming back down. I love going downhill because I can go fast, but please ride within your level of experience, and most important is communicate with everybody out there if you're going to pass. I always tell everybody stay to the right as far as you can, and if you're passing, make it loud and clear that you're passing on the left so that they know you're coming and they don't pull over to try and pass someone else as they're going down. All right, and that kind of goes with anywhere on the course. There are some narrow areas on the road course, especially here on Back Bay, and there will inevitably be people who are out walking their dogs that morning. As much as we try to close off the course, there are people who are going to go about their normal Sunday routine. So be paying attention to all that as well. All right. Also on the road course, there are some wet areas. There will more than likely be some wet areas that morning, some runoff from the hills. So be careful in those areas because it can get slick, obviously, when you're on your bike. And again, part of safety, if you need to slow down, there is also a small waterway, spillway. It's dry, but it is a down and up, and there are some bumps on that area. So be careful in those areas. All right, so you're going to go up to East Bluff, you're going to ride up, you're going to come down, you're going to go up to Jamboree, you're going to come back, and you're going to turn back onto Back Bay, and you're going to come back down into transition. When you come into transition, if you're doing the sprint, if you're doing the Olympic, you're going to do a turnaround and go back out and do it again. All right? So if you're coming in for transition, you'll come in, and again, what I like to do is I'll bring my bike in, I'll put it back on the spot where I was at, and then after I've done that, I'll take my helmet off. I have my sunglasses on under my helmet, so I don't have to worry about that. I'll take my shoes off, I'll put my running shoes on, and after I got my running shoes, I literally just grab this stuff and I start to go, right? And that way I can, as I'm going through transition and I'm walking, I can be doing this, and I can be putting my belt on, and I'm moving as I go along. Just something to save a couple extra seconds. And then you'll go out again, transition, swim, swim in, bike, run out is the same side. And you'll follow the course, run along the bridge there, and then it goes back. And there's a trail as you get around the road that you'll turn left onto, and it follows around the backside over there. And then once you get to the front over here by the dunes, you'll turn right, and you'll follow the trail up. You'll stay to the right. It goes up to the road. You'll turn around. You'll come down a little ways. You'll stay to the right, and you'll go up to the other, basically to the intersection, and you'll come back down, and again, staying to the right. You'll follow the trail back, and you'll turn left at that same turnout right by the entrance over here, and you'll follow it around and back around to the bridge, at which point, when you get to the bridge, you're going to stay right again, and you're going to follow basically the path that's along the other side over there. You're going to come all the way around. So when you come around, you're gonna get to an area just basically where that last lifeguard chair is and where the gazebos are.
That's our sprint.
And that's where you're gonna, if you're a sprint, you're gonna turn onto the sand and you're gonna crush it and run all the way down this beach line into the finishing arch. If you're the Olympic, you're gonna stay on the sidewalk and you're gonna run right on by. You're gonna go, man, I wish I was in the sprint. No. And you're gonna keep on going. And you're gonna do another loop of that. Again, once you finish your second loop, you're gonna get right back over there by that lifeguard stand. You're gonna see where everyone else is entering the beach, and you're gonna run this whole beach and look at that arch and go, I am almost there and done, right? Get through the arch. Congratulations, you finished. There'll be food over there, enjoy. Drinks over there, enjoy. And then this is the time to celebrate and just take in all of the other things that are going on, right? The post activities. There'll be a bunch of vendors. Take your time, look at all that stuff. If your spectators are coming, great time to hug and have fun and soak up the post race, festivities. So, what questions do you have after all of that? Yes.
The neoprene chip, should we put it underneath the wetsuit, or
I always do.
And tuck the put the wetsuit over it? It'll read it and all that.
Yep.
Okay.
It will. I haven't found a race yet that hasn't gotten my race time, and I've always put it under my suit.
Okay.
And I do that too because when I'm pulling it off, I don't want to actually pull off the time and chip by chance. So if it's under my wetsuit, that's not happening, right? And I don't want to have to take the extra time to take the time and chip off, pull the wetsuit off, put the time and chip. So just put it on the wetsuit. It's going to track it.
Okay.
Good question. What other question?
If you drop your bike off today, you're just going to pump your tires today. You're not going to have an opportunity in the morning to pump them.
There will always probably be somebody with the pump if you don't want to pump it up today and you really want to tomorrow. But there's not going to be a lot of temperature change overnight. So pumping today isn't going to make it a big deal for tomorrow. Right? Good question. I also I have a small pump that I bring with. That kind of just stuffs in the bag. What else? Yes.
Okay, so where do we put our wetsuit? What's the best practice?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. So when I come in, what I do is as I'm coming out of the water, right, I'll actually start kind of getting things off. I'll take and unzip, and the cool thing is as I unzip, I'll pull a hand out. And I always take my right hand out first, and then after I've gotten one arm out, I'll take my goggles and my swim cap off, and I'll pull my other arm out, and I leave the goggles and swim cap in the arm. That way I don't lose them. They're there the rest of the day. And so now I've got my wetsuit down to my waist. I get into transition. I get to my mat right in my area, and I start yanking it all the way off. I stomp on it a little bit, get my legs out, and then I throw it literally, basically where my helmet would be, right there, right in front of my bike, under my bike, and it's out of the way. And then I take my towel, like I said, wipe off my feet, and I get going on the rest of the stuff. Some people throw it over the bar. I find it's just easy to have it all piled up right in the same area as the rest of my gear. Other questions? Yes?
When are we fasting for bib? Is that after?
The only time you need to wear your bib is for the run. All right? There'll be, other thing, don't need the bib for the bike because you have a bike number on your helmet and you have a bike number on your bike, right? So when you look at right there, the race bib is the big number, right? And then off to the top side of that are two other numbers, and one of those goes on the bike and one of those goes on your helmet. They're sticky, all right? Somewhere on your top tube, just so that when you're leaving transition more than anything, we can see that, yep, numbers match. And not that we don't believe that anyone's going to try and steal anyone else's stuff, but we're preventing that, all right? And then one on the helmets just so we can identify who you are, the number. Other questions? other anything.
There's water stations too, right on the
Yes.
run?
Good. Yes. So on the run, there'll be a water station that's over here on the other side of the bridge, and then there's a water station right at the right turn going up the path to the road. So there's 2 water stations.
Did you do swim caps?
Huh?
Did you talk about swim caps?
Yep. Our swim cap. Remember, you're going to get one. That's the one I need you to wear. All right. I put my goggles on, and then I put my swim cap over my goggles. It's everyone's preference. Just make sure you're wearing the swim cap that was provided in your bag. Again, make sure you have your helmet. I say that because last 2 weeks ago, 10% of the athletes didn't have a helmet. Crazy to think. But it's all about safety, right? Wearing a helmet, especially in a race environment with 1,300 other athletes out there, is important. The other safety piece, one of the other things I want to remind you is headphones. Please do not wear your headphones on the bike or the run. I ask you that because, again, like I said earlier, communicating and being loud about it is important. And if you have headphones in, there's a chance you're not going to hear someone calling out that they're passing on the left. Or we have, volunteers out on the course too, and if they're trying to tell you something because they understand something that's happened up ahead, you may not hear those instructions. So please, no headphones on the bike and no headphones on the run for those reasons. Other questions?
You're dropping your bike off today. Is there security overnight?
Yes.
Or do you lock it or?
No.
Okay.
Do you lock? Have you been to I would ask this. I would never ask you to trust me with $2 million worth of bikes and think that I wasn't going to have safety for it, right? Or security.
First time.
Yeah, no, I understand. I would never ask you to trust me if I wasn't going to be able to provide that, right?
How many people are racing? There's basically 2 races, right? The sprint and the...
Well, there's actually
I know there's all the divisions, but I mean there's
the
crowds that go.
There's going to be a sprint triathlon, an Olympic triathlon. There's also a 5K. There's a 10K. There's a bike run. There's a swim bike. There's a whole bunch of different races within tomorrow's event.
How many people are going to be riding a bike at the same time?
At the same time, you'll probably have, you have 2 groups to that extent of about 500 and then another 600 and something. So at any given time, probably at most 800. Because you're going to get some sprinters who are still out on the road while you have Olympics coming out and start.
For swim start, we're going to line up by pace and then it's 6 at a time, kind of?
That's a great question. Thank you. So when you get over there, you're going to see that there's going to be some chutes. And those chutes are going to be set up so that you have a 1 minute, 1:15, a 1:30, and so on and so forth, right? So does everyone know what their swim pace is? Slow. Okay. And that's good. If you're slow, you're going to want to be down at the 2 minute, the 2:30 mark. And I always say to... There it is. There's a 3 minute. There's a 3 minute too. Oh, man. All right. And if you need to be in that last lane, by all means, take that last lane. And I say this too, is it's better to seat yourself a little slower, right, in the slower group, because what I'd hate for you to feel is putting yourself up in the 1 minute, Speedy Gonzalez types, and you end up getting crushed by the rest of the wave, right? And it'll be about four each go. So 7 o'clock if you're a sprint, you're starting, right? The 1 minute, fast athletes are going to be the first ones in, and they're going to go 4 at a time, about 3 seconds apart. So figure whatever the math is for 4 at a time every 3 seconds, and you're going to feed through. It goes by quick, and then the cutoff time is 20 minutes from the last swimmer in the water, right? So that gives you a little extra time if you're, in the middle of that swim pack to get across for the sprint triathlon. If you're Olympic, you get 50 minutes. So, and again, that's a lot of time. I am certain that every one of you will be able to successfully accomplish that. I know you will. What other questions? Yes.
What do you wear in your wetsuit? I might have missed this earlier, but like, are you wearing your running shorts?
I put I have what I'm going to wear for the rest of the race, right?
That's what I have.
Yeah. My tri-kit. I wear that. If you don't have that pair of, I've seen people racing Speedos, and that throws back to the 80s when triathletes were doing it. So, bike shorts, whatever you've got, I put it under the wetsuit, and that's what I rock with. Or that's what I'll wear the rest of the race. Any other questions? Anything else? Okay, so again, remember, tomorrow the key is be safe, have fun, do some things to help reduce that anxiety for the day, and then just slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Take some deep breaths in there and remind yourself you are going to crush it, and you've already done all the hard work. So have fun and be safe. I'll be here tomorrow cheering you on every step of the way. Cool? All right, I think they're almost ready to switch over now. So go have fun in the water.
Thank you.
That's where I want to be too. Oh, let me
I'm slow too. Yeah. A lot of things I would be right here, right? Yeah.
I throw it in my bag.
Yeah, I did that. I started seeing it.
No, never.
Oops, I run into you. I'm always in your way, so watch out.
It's moving, right? You hit the red button, just one. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, I do not need.
Hey, good morning. If you're here for the bocce tournament, you're in the wrong place. If you're here for the 7:30 swim clinic, let me look. Yep, 6 minutes. We'll start at the 7:30 swim clinic. So you're in the right place. You'll be you'll have your wetsuit. You want to have your wetsuit or not? Doesn't matter. We'll catch you in about 5 minutes. I guess. Tom, can I start? Yeah. We do that. Right? There you go. Give him some notes. There we I usually wear one underneath the latex one. I'm not allergic to latex, but yeah, if I can wear the neoprene and then I'll wear this over top of that. Yeah, you're gonna have to wear one. I don't know what the color is, but yeah, they all start the same color. Nice. But I was saying, who was asking what the texture, it's latex. Some people don't like latex. No, we implant it in your head. No, you're wearing it on your ankle. Yeah, exactly.
When I go get my you gonna say that? That's the only way.
Oh, hi, how are you? We got more here. You guys
Thank you so much.
There you go. Oh, did you? I've seen these before.
Right here.
Darn it.
I know.
3 is the limit. 3 is the limit. Do you have one? You want to wear this on your top it?
Say hello. Say hello. Where are you? You're live in the internet. We're on Twitch and Facebook Live. So where are you?
We're Newport. I was like, I thought you were asking.
No, for people that don't know in the world. What are you doing here this morning? Well, learn from the master.
Good morning.
Whoops.
Good morning. So first of all, welcome to the swim clinic. My name is Thomas, and I'm your coach today, and race director tomorrow. So we have a bunch of coaches here that are going to help today. This is Coach Jared. Jared, raise your hand. Woo! A little bit. Coach Tony. Woo! And where is Coach Where's our coach? There he is, Coach Rick. And by the way, Coach Rick just celebrated his 60th. Was it 60? Happy birthday. Oh, 61. Whoa. And we're just glad he made it out here today. So let's give him a big one. This morning, first of all, welcome. One of the first questions that we like to ask is, how many first-time triathletes? If you'll raise your hand, yeah, that's a lot, right? Let's give them a clap. Woo! So if you're standing next to a lot of folks and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm probably the only person here who had a credit card but doesn't know how to swim, that's not true. Everybody's out here and we're all on this path. What I love to do is we will break into two groups. We'll break into our dry land group and then we'll break into our swim group because we want to give you more focused support. So if you are right here on this line, you'll slide that way, ma'am. In the back, Violet, yes, the 21-year-old. Yeah, get to the left, thank you. And then if you're on this side, you guys are swimming first, you're doing dry land first. And this is Les, this diminutive fellow right here. He has swim caps, so grab a swim cap for him.
Hard to see me, I'm diminutive.
Then a couple quick things before we go. Once we're done, we're going to come back here at 9. We have our speaker today. We have a really good big announcement today. If you've been to a Cal-Tri event before, you've never seen us have a backdrop, so that's pretty unusual. And then after that speaker speaks, then we're going to have you pick packet pickup. If you did not come to this clinic today, it's 11 o'clock packet pickup. So it gives us a break in the middle. So you guys will get early packet pickup. Just make sure you have your ID, and then we'll help you get your packet. Fair? That's great. You're going to walk away with everything you need today. I really do encourage you to read the notes. We like to say, and I know this will sound rough, I can teach you triathlon, but I can't teach you how to read. So you're going to have to read. There's a lot of information. There's 3 sports to learn about. So if you are on this side, come with me. If you're on this side, you have to stay with Jerry.
I know that sounds horrible, but it won't be that bad. I'll try to make it as painless as possible.
Come on down, guys.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
You're live.
I'll try not to kick over your coffee. All right. Well, good morning. And first I'll start by saying all the hard work.
Black swim caps are no bueno today. Yeah, we want to make sure there might be other people swimming today. We want to keep an eye out for us swimmers.
Background about myself.
Good morning. So we have 3 coaches today on the swim side. We have Rick. We have Rick, we have Tony, we have Tom. Are you guys familiar with like Garmin? Maybe you have an Apple Watch and you have a Garmin? Yeah. Okay. So Tony's more like an Apple Watch. He's a lot nicer. He's the same run, but he's very nice about it. I would say Rick's more like a Fitbit, which is like, it's good, it's close to there. I'm a little more like a Garmin. So it just sort of depends on what you like. And then we're going to break it into 3 parts. We're going to go on the left side is the Fitbit side, the Apple Watch side, and the Garmin side. So whichever way you like, we're going to go this direction. You guys are going to get the same clinical at the same time. Let's break up into 3. Yes, he is nicer.
Go to Garmin.
Garmin's here. I mean, I had to be nice to them and say they were just respectful. It doesn't really matter. All 3 of us are good. So, here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to make you faster. Today, you're going to come out of here being faster, and that's what nobody put on their goal for this year. I want to swim slower. All right, so we want to swim faster. So a lot of that is about technique. What I will tell you is, hey, if you say to yourself, I don't have a good technique, so I'm going to put extra yardage in, you're just going to kind of practice a bad stroke. So we want to get that stroke. So we have 5 focals. First focal is get flat in the water. Second focal is going to be a hip-driven stroke. The third one is we're going to talk about breathing. Fourth one is sighting. And the 5th one is catch. And so each one of those, We'll talk about it. I'll show you, and then you guys get a chance. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna do like a 20-yard back and forth. We won't need to go out there. We're gonna do 50. Now, for tomorrow, I wouldn't worry about the stingrays because when you get 1,300 people, stingrays could care less about us. But if you're coming in water like this which has them, you want to do what I call the truffle shuffle, and you want to do that. Fair? Let's walk on in.
Now I find out if I know what. Stingrays are probably gone. They want nothing to do with us. So you want to get that line. Yeah. So we're going to get a nice line. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get flat in the water. Most important thing is to be relaxed. The wetsuit helps a lot. But when you're not flat in the water, what happens is we want to think that we're swimming in a sailboat, not a tugboat. So you have to be cognizant of your hips and your legs and flat. So let's relax, put your face in the water, check the visibility out. By the way, if you're cold, and you look like you want to be cold, you just want to do the upper job. You want to make that work. So if you're cold, you have a way not to do. Let's get flat in the water. Let's go 10 seconds, please. Just face down. Here we go. Let's go back this way. I need 20. Let's go back 10 yards, please. I'm sorry, once we get over, we're going to go back and forth. So all I want to do is just swim it's 20 yards. Dave, you're going to want to stay in the middle. So you're going to want to come to about right here. Let's just see you swim. We're going to warm up. I need to see you swim right here. And we're off. So, I saw you guys swim and actually really good today. This gentleman was the first one to get across, so I could have picked him up. What is your name, sir? What is your name? Jonathan. So Jonathan, you can stand. Jonathan's a good swimmer. And even though I told you to wear a yellow cap, you still won't wear a yellow cap. Don't get a yellow cap, please. Thank you. If you don't have a yellow, they're up there. You're grabbing off somebody's head. Please do that. This race is all about listening. You gotta listen. So this is Jonathan. So this is a swim clinic. So when you do a stroke, this is 1 stroke, 2 strokes, 3 strokes, 4 strokes. That gentleman right in front of me, raise your hand, thank you. Who can count Jonathan's strokes? We're going to swim to that now. Please, if you can count his strokes. Yeah, you can count his strokes. Thank you. And what's your name, sir? Amir. Okay. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Every time you go, right? Let's go. The first swimmer is the first swimmer. That's how we take it. 13 for John. How many for Jonathan? 13. Huh? 8. You guys saw that, correct? I'm doing less work. And I can increase my speed because I'm doing this picture. This is a quick swim. I would take this swim quite some time. We want to talk about why. We want to be lazy. So, the nice piece is, most people take this swim with their arms. We don't. We swim with our core. You take your fingers, put them on, or four fingers, put them on your hip bone. You take your thumb, put them on your rib cage. This is where you swim. So as an example, does anybody else take off?
At race time. At race time. Yeah. At race time, you're going to be right. But when you're setting up at 5:40,
that arm out there. We do not get our power from our arm. We get our power from our core. Very good news. Because this is a lot stronger than this is. This is what that looks like whenever I can swim back 40 yards. I want you to take some more pace. Number 2.
I will also say,
So focal number 1
flat on the water. Actually,
flat on the water. Focal number 2 is a hip trick and stroke. Can't swim flat. You have to rock it. Your power comes when you come up high. Tomorrow there will ride with this. Now the third focus is breathing.
Definitely read over the website, go to the course, but if you would like before we start,
try to do
we'll give a little talk, we'll show you how to go. You always want to turn that, and you can power, but you're going to be sighting, which means you know where you're going. And so, bring that head, part of the land, like you read out on the bridge, I'm going that way. A lot of times you see it against all course. But if there's going here, kind of figure out
right here,
it's important to keep track of your movies, know where you're going,
look, if you see the bottom half of the goggle, I messed up. And so I'm breathing on the back side.
So that, like, how often should I sight? It's whatever works for you. You need to sight every stroke. I wouldn't be able to breathe every stroke of the other stroke. And sighting. You guys try that, please? So you put that all together. Something like this.
That's a hard one. Tell me if sighting is something that you can put your hand up if sighting is something you struggle with. Yep, that's it. So sighting, here's the thing now, race one you have this 5-foot catcher usually, the buoys, and they're 5 foot, they're buoys, and when you're open water swimming, and this is a big stream, big flood, you're looking for something outside to focus on. And that's what you're going to sight on. And I want to give you a skill that allows you to sight as frequently as you want to. Most people don't sight frequently enough because, yeah, it will slow them down if they do it incorrectly. When I've been in races with 2,000 people, and you start out like this, I mean, everybody has to go. And when they want to sight and stop, and they do this. People run into it. It's awful. And so I want to show you what this is called alligator eyes. The alligator comes out of the water, catches what they want to see, and then on the back end you breathe. So you can sight and breathe basically without having to slow down. Now if the strategy is, I'll just follow some streets. Maybe, but they've got to be going the right place. So we have sometimes, like for the Olympics, we'll have 1,640 yards. Some folks will come out and do 1,640. Some folks come out and do 2,000. Same course. And we call that military swimming, left, right, left, right. So we want to give you a skill set that allows you to do that. So I'm going to come out with the alligator eyes, and I'm going to breathe on the backside. This is what that looks like. And we're probably going to give you a second shot at it. So here's what that looks like. I saw you. Can we give about 25 yards that way? A little longer this time, about 30 yards. Alright, it was always 10. Oh my goodness. The point is, you guys can be in a round and back around to the bridge.
Basically the path that's on the other side. All the way around. Come around, basically where that last light goes there. Brush it all the way down this line. They're going to stay on the and you're going to keep on going.
So the thing on the mind is really hard. I won't take the camp. We have a free camp. We don't have to do. So we really have to work on our tech. About 50 to 60% of them probably make some difficult techniques. So I'd love you to do this. This one's a visual. You have to sort of close your eyes, relax, and I want you to imagine that there is a ladder, and it starts to recede and goes up to on the couch, to the knee, or cutting the cake, and you put your right hand up, and you're going to grab a rung of that ladder. So right hand up, and you're going to climb that all the way up to this spot. You grab that ladder on the right side with your right hand to the center of the rung or to the left side. I hear right? Yeah. I heard center. Right, center. Okay, by the way, this does look like a religious ceremony. We're going to open up our eyes. Whoa! Whoa, I was bad looking back there. I think you're indoctrinated at this point. I'm not sure what, whatever. The answer is you probably want to climb that ladder from the right side. It gives you leverage. Imagine climbing that ladder and you're putting your arms here. How awkward that would be. 50 to 60% of us, we have a thing called crossover. So when we swim, we come out here, we come out here. You want to be out wide, 10 and 2. And that's where you want to get your stroke. Now, if you're looking at a clock, and I don't have, Violet, is she here with us?
Violet's over there.
Oh, that guy. Okay,
Put her on the other side.
She's under 30 if she doesn't know what a clock is. But this is obviously the 12, the 3, down is the 6, and 9 is back. When you come in the water, a lot of folks come in on top of the water, and then we press down. We don't want to do that. We want to come into the water, fingers pointed, and then come down about 6 inches under the water. Now, once you're at that 330 and you're letting that arm out there slide, I want you to think about your elbow. Don't think about your fingers. Think about your elbow. Bring your elbow up. By the way, when you bring your elbow up, I promise you your fingers will follow. And you're going to come up to the 6. You guys see on the back of this 370 kit, you see that? That's what you're pushing against. So is everybody out here doing this? Pumping your hands to get that little bit of water in here? Anybody? Yep, you're doing it. Actually, it's better to hold your arms out and get the balance. You don't get any, there's no surface area there. Let's do that. So when you get this and you do that violent push, right? What happens is your body goes forward, your arm comes back, and at some point you have to do it again and recover. I don't want you whipping it out here. I want you to come with a broken arm, very soft, coming through, and spearing again. That I'd like you to practice. Give me 25 yards with a nice line. Let's go.
I was like, where are they? Did you run already?
Whatever you have to do here today, but what I'll do is, if you don't mind, if you don't have a rep, Les, would you mind coming?
We'd be like,
Yep. Anybody see Les? Anybody?
a lot of people find that.
There'll be a water station that's over here on the other side.
Is this the guy?
Water station.
So what we want to do is we want you to come forward to swim like you normally would, and then come back behind afterwards, and I want you to see how others can evaluate it. So just come this way, swim right here, and I'll tell you what's going on. Just start first pulling in. Let's go. Yep. And Les is the buoy. So once you're on Les is the right shoulder, left shoulder, you're going. Okay? Yeah, so that's a perfectly good stroke. He has a bit of a whip, so come from the top would be better. You have a whip coming on the side. More relaxed. Mostly on the right. Yeah. You swimming high school? Yep. Here we go. You guys see the crossover. Look at the left arm cross crossover, my goodness. All right, you see it? Center of her body. Okay, so great swim, you have a left arm crossover. So that comes here. We need you, remember when you're climbing that ladder? We need you out there pulling on that ladder, especially with the left arm. You get a videotape, you'll see it. Next. Awesome. So when she swims with her hands, she's coming in, she's bringing her thumb down a little bit, and she's scooping out. I'd love to see that come straight back with a high elbow, but that's a nice swim. Yeah, get one, please. Yep. I'm going to do one more task after this, if you have a chance, but if you have to get out here. Nice job. I'd love to see a little bit of a longer swing, but it would be really nice. Work on your stroke count. A little less, lower your stroke count. So you might be stroking like 25 on 100, maybe try 20, or 25 on 25, maybe 23. Yeah, good job. Next. Yeah. Love that, but a bit of a crossover, especially on the right side. Let's get it wider. Next, half the folks here will try to have a crossover. And it's amazing what you can see. Would love to see more hip rotation. Just more hip rotation, powerful swimmer, hip rotation, and drive that. Great job, that was beautiful. Next. You guys see him crossover, especially with the right arm? Crossover, especially with the right arm. You're going to come out wide. More efficiency out here. Get a nice pull. Great job. Okay, I'm going to recommend a special triathlon.
Wait until you see it.
Yeah.
Once you take a look, it's.
Yeah, because I breathe on my right. Oh, I forgot about dry land.
Not violent, just make sure you're in the right position. Fair? Next. Yes. Hey. So he's plenty wide. So he's putting wide, and what he's also doing is putting wide. So we'd love to see high elbows. He's keeping out wide. There we go. Yeah, this is a crossover. You guys see the left arm cross over the center line? All these things are pretty simple. You don't have to change them. If you want to go fast, I like it. I would like you to focus your arm out there more. Leave that arm out there. We'll work on your stroke.
Okay, you guys having fun over here?
Are you recording us?
Well, you're also being live streamed throughout the world right now.
No way! Oh my god! Don't do this!
You paid money for the. Oh, this is free today.
Today
is free. Stingrays okay?
Oh yeah, they're very friendly.
They keep.
Watch this later. Or is that just only live video?
Oops. No, I'm good. It's recording too, so I'm going to upload it to YouTube to the Caltry channel. So yeah, so all this,
Okay. I'm gonna go back and watch.
I just put raw footage.
I think so. Let me just do it.
No.
So what's the summary of this crew? Did they survive? You didn't drown anybody? The stingrays were okay?
Are you the legendary Dave Campbell?
Huh?
Are you the legendary Dave Campbell?
Oh, well, I'm Dave Campbell. I don't know, legendary.
You're a legend.
You're live right now through the world. You guys got anything you want to say?
What do you have to say?
You're live right now through the internet. What do you think it is? It's a free swim clinic. Whatever. What places get free swim clinics?
It's my first one, so I guess.
Eh? Great job. They done? Yeah. Well, do you know how to do it? Push the button, say save.
Dropping it down. That's going to create lots of shoulder
Here and goes around.
So what do we got over here? Did your instructor give you any help?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so you are right now live on the internet. You can run and hide. So any words of wisdom you got out of your clinic here? Speechless.
Away. Just have the whole thing with their mouth open, just like so. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like the swim is just
The teacher's like,
I would say, I mean, it's not like, it's not water. It's how back they
But my whole point is like, I would definitely.
I mean, if you're worried that, but I can tell you there's going to be a lot of people who are going to have directing you. Yes. 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 They're always going to be. First, you're not going to be the leader? Yeah. No worries. Yeah. Okay. Over there to the right.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is 4 minutes per 100 yards. No, you don't have to. You don't have to have it on other than for the run. If you're going to put a shirt on and it's going to be what you wear for the run too, then yeah, I would have it on there for that. You don't have to get it out.
You don't have to.
But yeah, and there's pins. You'll have a whole lot of pins. Your bib, the back of your shirt. Yeah, not required. It will be the same shirt. Yeah, not required, but if you're going to be wearing it for the run, I would have it. This is your car for the run. Yeah.
I put my wetsuit on wrong. Wrapped around my leg instead of but I could fix that for tomorrow. I was just wondering, what's the best way? Like I put it on inside out, but I put one leg on this leg I got right. This leg I got all screwed up because by the time I put on this leg, it was hard to figure out where so I assume like I'll survive for this tutorial.
Yes, yes.
But does it make that much of a difference for it to be straight? Even though I'm sweating my way. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Do you have anything? Great information, thank you. Do you have anything under it? If you have any tri-slide under it? Who wrote this?
I didn't put any body glide or baby oil. I brought that with me for tomorrow.
And that's why it's more
Or that tri-slide to help. Did you guys do it? I've seen some people put trash bags, put that on, and then you just pull that right up and over, so that you can switch. Like the trash bag, if it's twisted, like you're saying, you can actually twist it and then you pull that trash bag over. Okay. Because some people like it's already on it.
Yeah. Now it's impossible.
Or easy design. There's a tape line that goes in here. What you'll see people do is there's a tape line that goes there, and so people can cut it to make that a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about.
The design of the website.
That's the back there, around, and that's right over there, right? Where the entrance.
They'll have shorter because they've already taken it. Because as you're pulling it out, you know, if you're trying to get your foot that angle out underneath it, and so that's why they cut it. That's why they'll cut it to that tape line
and
where
then
it's designed to go
back around, and you go well, not in the sand. This is all strip. This is all the bike path right over there.
That's the frustrating thing when
and then as you get
want that
this
stuff
area
underneath
right in here,
when you come out,
that's
you can slide it off easier. Not easy, but easier.
Yeah.
Because once your skin touches it without touching on it,
there's gonna be a sign. There's gonna be signs everywhere that tell you
especially at the heel.
turn right.
Yeah. So having that stuff underneath already on, not do it actually putting it on, so that the baby oil or whatever, saying
I'm
already
putting
still there.
up to
But most people see tri-slide or whatever. It's the normal stuff.
Baby oil.
Yeah. To get it on, but and it doesn't matter because it'll evaporate off.
Last play, that was just
It's not going to hurt you because you're going to go home and watch that anyway. Shower after.
Right.
It's these little tricks. But having that on, because this is that and right in here. Because if you're trying to pull it off when you're running, because your hypoxia coming out, having that stuff already underneath, on and on here and outside right here. That's the sticky part. Trying to get that off, and it's trying to stick to your skin all the way down. So having that on the arms, anywhere where this
but not if you have a fracture.
below the knee. And then for you, it's knowing that you got to get to that line. Here's your knee line. So however it's twisted, that knee line is pulling it up. I got to pull it up so that that thing is right there. That's the length. You see that? But this one doesn't have it. So this one is what you start with first anyway, so you're good. But then you can say, okay, I can have this one on my wheel. And just pull it up. Start there. Don't even start pulling up there until you get to that line. Or a little bit further. It's real tight on the line. Then just pull that starting point right here. Then work your way up.
Oh, mountain? The mountain? Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah, that's the thing with the planes.
Well, between that and then the wind comes and it kind of, I'm just hacking here. Because it picks up.
Yeah.
Maybe in post-production I can change. But. Okay, so here we are at the Caltry Newport Dunes Optimism location. An unbelievable facility. Man, where can you go for a swim where the entire swim lane is 100% surrounded by sand? That's pretty darn impressive. And over there in the background are all I hear the snowbirds that come from Washington or whatever with their small RVs. So this is a very, very exclusive location. It's the only time of the year that anybody is allowed to use this facility for a race. So pretty special. Got some people already warming up out here.
For a race and interviewing two 60-year-olds.
So this will be the finish line. There's a run across the bridge over the lake. It's pretty cool. With all the boats in the background.